really good out there.
Yeah.
What's your impressions, takeaways?
Yeah, I mean, I think we kind of been okay. Our 360 Nationals went much better than the 410's kind of been going, but we've just been really close. You know, I think I don't come from any of this back home, so this is all new. But luckily, I got some good help. I got John Eggiman. He's been helping me for my stuff for Nationals so far, and like I said, we're really good for 360s. Just I feel like we're dancing around a point in the 410s where we're close, and it's just how it goes.
So, have you counted how many people are in line? You versus Larson, like who has the big one of the pitting area?
I do not know. I just luckily
there's a lot of people here for you.
Luckily, I got a really big line, which is cool. Which I know it comes a lot with what we do, but that's what we sign up for. It's awesome. Out here, especially in sprint car country, the West Coast doesn't have as many fans, so we see that. We see. I don't know the best way to say it. We see our local, our people are, from California to Washington, but when you come out here, it's just like a whole new world.
I'm curious. Obviously, I get my little bit of hate, but talking to like some other people like Michael Millard and even some of the Hunt the Front people, do you get hatred for being this popular YouTube? Because in their scenarios, there's a lot of fans, but there are some chirpers out there in the industry, not like fans, but in the industry.
I feel like I don't get as much hate as probably more you just get the armchair quarterbacks, or whatever, people on the couch trying to make
or
calls.
Envious people.
Yeah, stuff like that. I don't know. For the most part, I don't really pay attention. I don't know what other people would say, and I know it's easy just to say that.
I just didn't know if you experienced it.
Yeah, no, you definitely do here and there. I mean, or you can read the comments. Probably more on the YouTube videos than anything. All my other platforms don't see it as much, but like I said, in my opinion, if you don't want to see it, you just can turn off your phone. So
right, well.
So and you just kind of choose to see what you want to see, and just keep going. I guess I don't know.
Well, you're definitely not in the deep end like Michael is over there in PA with all their fans and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. There's a
lot of close interactions in PA versus the West Coast.
For sure. No, and honestly, being honest, like I said, I probably just more shut my eyes to it more than anything because you just got to keep going.
Right.
If you try to, my thing I always say is you try not to get too high on the cheers and you try not to get low on the boos. You just keep going no matter what. So this is a tough sport.
It's kind of like McKenna's wing there. Never quit.
Sure.
You're never out of the fight.
For sure. There's a lot of people that there's a lot of people that can tell you how to do it or this and that or whatever, and that's just how it goes. You just can't. You just got to keep doing your thing.
Well, it seems like this year though, 410, you've been pretty fast when you've been shown.
For sure.
No,
we've made a lot of big gains, and like a lot of it was right before we came out here. There was a big dirt cup swing. The West Coast is really bringing back 410 stuff, which is awesome. That's what we need. I always tell people there's so much talent out there that they're kind of just on, like, I think maybe you use the word, it's like an island. They're just on an island. Like, guys that will come out here, and I'm not saying they just make everyone look silly.
But they're used to swimming with sharks.
It's just out there we have to race against each other all the time. Every 410 race you go to is
short tracks.
There's not just no local 410 show you're going to go to at home that you're just going to walk on someone. You have to race against Day, Selzy, the Tarleton car, Roth Motorsports, every single week.
And I think it does benefit that it's on the shorter tracks because a guy with not as much funding can do something there, and it's hard to pass the guys with the funding, and there's a level of aggression out there. How you attack the cushion out there. And you see it progress. I mean, Macedo, Sweet, Larson, all the bigger names out there, they come from that attacking background.
Yeah, no, and that's been good for me. It took me a little bit because that was never as much my style even growing up. Like, I was more of a slower and smoother and try to find a better game plan than just, here comes a bomb. But you have to do that out there. You have to definitely
there's
find
a smart way to be aggressive.
For sure.
I'm not saying you're out there rearing people, but you attack hard out there.
Absolutely, no, you have to. And that's just kind of how it is. So for us, we've ran really well this year. Kind of up through, like I said, that dirt cup swing. We got to run about 8 nights in a row, and every night with NARC we were top 5 car, just right there. And we've just been working on building our program. It's tough. We're I don't want to make it seem like we're a small family operation, but we do it more as a family, and just trying to work on all of our components and our package and our engines, and what to do to make the most speed. And coming out here, this is all more foreign. We don't race anything. Knoxville's gigantic.
Not a lot of people do. Even Brett Marson just told me he's a little lost, and he's won here.
For sure. It's easy to get off course. So the main thing, like our whole trip, has just been, take each night for what it's worth. Build the biggest notebook that we can, and figure out how to be better, and not be afraid to ask questions. Have some people I can lean on, and I mean, you don't want to ask too many people, but you gotta be willing to put yourself out there a little bit and listen to feedback, and as a driver and as setup stuff, and how to be just better overall. These guys are the best, so it's easy to get knocked down.
Now, how much of an advantage do you think you've got for understanding like the track layout, where to lay and run based on the sim stuff? I feel like that does help, especially first time.
A little bit, yeah. No, I think so. Just more visual stuff. And,
knowing where things are at.
I probably don't take as much advantage of that anymore, just because, I just don't have as much time.
But once you've done it for so many times, you kind of know the track online.
I think it's one of those things you don't even take into account that you don't realize. Like, running hundreds of laps here is huge in the berm, and just little, like I said, what you're going to see. I think it helps train the brain. So I actually tell people that a lot. I think like younger racers, when they ask, hey, what can I do to be better? I was like, well, if you have iRacing, playing iRacing is big. I think just help train your brain for racing situations and what it's like to be behind the wheel, because Monday through Friday, you don't always get that chance to, you can work on your race car and scale it all day long and look at numbers and do this and that, but at the end of the day, training the brain to how to race is huge, and what to do in situations. You only get that on track.
So would you be for a bunch of parents who may want kids to get into racing, telling them, until your kid can properly race on iRacing, it will save you a bunch of money to wait until... honestly, I've thought about this, and I've said this before. A kid, no one should really get in a race car until they can properly. That's going to kill a lot of training.
You're not wrong. That's a fair way to look at it. I always said the best thing would be, like if I had a kid that was 3-4 years old, like put them on the sim first for sure, kind of work with them, but then a combination of running laps and practicing in the sim. I think nowadays that's where we're going to see the next big thing.
Well, I would still say there's talent in the older ages that just didn't have the money at a young age.
And that's
and if you're 28, don't or 30,
for sure,
don't shy on sim racing, because if you can't do that, you do not belong in the seat of a real race car.
On those, it depends. I guess, what you're getting after. The older generation as well.
Even the younger. I mean, I agree with your point as well, but I'm saying any of y'all.
Yeah, no.
If you want to race and you've never done it before,
if you can't, okay, that's a good way.
That's what I'm saying.
If you can't get around Lanier in a 305 or a 360,
even the 410, you should be able to master it.
Yes,
you should be able to master iRace before you can get in a car.
I'd be on the same page with that. We can agree on that for the most part. Yes.
Because I did. Yeah. And I didn't have that bad. My first night out, I was 2/10 faster than the track champion.
For sure.
So, I mean, it pays dividends.
I do agree. Like I said, a lot of it is just situational and racecraft and whatnot. You can learn that a lot on iRacing. I mean, I used to play so much, and I honestly probably did help me be aggressive and, like I said, recognize situations.
Right.
You gotta. I mean, you don't. The only time you ever get to be in second with 2 laps to go is either on track or on the game, and there's enough realism there that it helps you and it puts you in a situation.
Even lap traffic. I mean, going through traffic, how to enter, exit to enter the next corner, coming off the corner.
And a good example, actually, now that I just thought about it, so before I went to Chili Bowl this year, I actually ran a lot of laps on there on the sim that I had already ran before, but just like
the midgets have issues, but you learn the track.
I literally just went out there and I was like, I know it's not going to feel like this, but all I can do is just trying to feel like, okay, this is where I'm going to enter, this is what the car is going to feel like, and you don't have the seat of the pants feeling, but I mean, shoot, I do think that helped me a lot. Just take away some of those beginning nerves, feeling like I've already done it when I had it.
I'm sure coming off of 4, if you've never been at the Chili Bowl, you're thinking about what should I do going into one where you may be in a race situation where it's like, okay, if I enter right there, I know there's a little here, or this is how it's going to exit. You already know what's coming.
It's big. It's big. No, so so the sim, I always tell people, I mean, it's if you can run it a lot, it will help you. Okay,
so the bigger question, all this 410, you've been quick this year.
Yeah.
What I've been seeing, I'm ready. I'm basically a handicapper. I talk about the racing, who's going to win, who's not, who's looking good.
Yeah.
You're looking good for
sure.
this outlaw swing.
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, it's going to be. I think you're a legit. This could be your time to shine.
For sure.
If you want to make that impact, because you got to wait another year, because the Outlaws took the spring swing away.
Absolutely.
This is y'all's one chance.
Yeah.
The Sharks are ready to eat,
For sure, no,
and get their credibility.
I circle Skagit. Skagit's a really tough place to race against the Outlaws because it's really fast, and that's
same weekend as Tuscarora, which takes some eyes away. I feel like
for sure. No, but it's the standard Outlaw purse. We got a $26,000 to win the final night. I think it is. There's gonna be a lot of good cars, You know, the Northwest has started to pick up a little bit, so I'm sure we're looking at every bit of 30, 35 410s. And like I said, at Dirt Cup earlier in the year, we ran top 5 every night with a solid 40 cars there, and we were right behind Day, and, you know, a couple guys that, you know, if things go different, we might have won some of those races. Our package there is really strong. So
well, you're only building with experience with this 410
sure.
and everything.
And
it
even
seems to
Chico
always get faster.
Last time we talked at Chico,
or Grays Harbor.
Or Grays Harbor. You know,
got laps there.
Last time we talked there, you know, we were slid for the lead on our prelim night. So and Chico's not even my strongest suit. So I think as our
that's what I'm saying. You were so down. I'm not down there, but you were down there compared to now.
For sure, yeah. And I think one thing that's changed is our qualifying package has gotten a little better in general at a lot of places, and that's huge. If you can qualify with the Outlaws, I mean, starting on the front row of a heat race, I'm not saying you're getting a guaranteed dash spot, but, you know, you're putting yourself. You're not coming from row 3 in a heat race against these guys for the most part. It's really tough, but so that part has gotten better, and it's just putting, you know, every aspect of it together. So we're really close, and that's I'm excited, especially after everything we learned on this little tour we've done. You know, big notebook, and I think we're going to be dialed.
So Tanner Holmes is laying down the smackdown on the Outlaws.
But yeah,
on the West Coast swing.
We'll see. I think, you know, like I said, if this is our shot, and you know, we've had a really good trip, and I think if everything goes right, you know, we can be right there battling for a podium. You never know how close you can get to victory lane. So that's our goal.
This is how we ride. This is how we do. Ride mud, slide, no.